Hi, I'm Joy Kennedy with the World Council of Churches team here at COP24 in Katowice. I've been thinking a lot about text because we talk about text in this meeting all the time. And we, in our Christian tradition, are people of text, of the word. We think about how important words are and how messages come to us in many forms. When I was reading the IPCC, that's the Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change, report on 1.5 global warming, it reminded me of some text that I read in Jeremiah. The prophet Jeremiah, if you haven't read it, really read it. It reads like a climate change handbook. The information that he is telling to the authorities and to the people is that there's something coming that is going to devastate the land. The land will be laid waste. People will have no livelihoods. The waters will dry up. It's going to be a really bad climate impact because, and he even says why, because of the abuse of the lands and of the peoples and of people not following God's law. God's law about the preservation of nature, of living in mutual solidarity with each other in community, of equity, so that the rich aren't the ones that own everything and the rest of the people get the crumbs. So Jeremiah says to them, look, because of this behavior, you are all going to suffer the consequences. And the Babylonian king and his army are coming, and it's going to be a really bad scene. Some of the people get that, and they decide, yeah, we got to get out of here. There's no more future for us here. And so they become, I think, similar to climate refugees. Jeremiah is dealing with the authorities all the time who really don't want to hear this message. They kind of hunch things aren't good, but the king says, enough of this. Takes Jeremiah's text, which he had written down, tears it up, burns it, and says, get out of my sight. His officials did more than that. They actually threw him in jail. Well, we'd call it jail. It was a well or a cistern even. But anyway, so Jeremiah thinks, what am I going to do about this? Eventually he gets out, and of course, he's thinking about what's the future for my people. What has God got in mind? How is God going to be with us as we suffer through this catastrophe? Because he knew it was going to be a catastrophe. So he actually redrafts the script, the text. He has a scribe and he redrafts it just like they do here in Katowice. They're always redrafting to get it right. But fortunately, it was preserved. So we know that in fact what happened eventually was the Babylonian army did come, just like climate impacts do come as predicted. There's no getting around it unless we get ourselves back into some kind of equilibrium with God's law, with nature, with the cycle of how our climate works on this wonderful home planet. Because that's all we've got is our home, and it's a shared home, and we've got to find ways to share it together. Jeremiah was right in the end. He ends up in exile, but they survive because they read the signs of the times, just like people around the world are reading the signs of the times as climate change impacts are causing them to lose livelihoods, to lose their lands, to be flooded, to have wildfires, droughts, and especially rising seas. The most vulnerable people are the ones who are hurt first. There's no question about it. That's what Jeremiah said. That's what prophets have been saying for thousands of years. That's what prophets of today are saying. The IPCC scientists, I think, are today's prophets. They are giving us the data that says you must make a decision. You can either choose death, choose catastrophe, or choose life. If we're going to choose life together on this planet, we've got to read the text, take it seriously, follow the instructions, because the rule book will provide us with instructions, and take it further. Not in a spirit of grudging, oh, we have to do this discipline thing. No, in a spirit of celebration, cooperation, accommodation where we must, and a spirit of mutual solidarity, because we're brothers and sisters on this one small planet. That's been the message of God from the beginning, and that's the message of God for us today.